Hello, and welcome to the Forsaken Podcast. I'm Grim Reaper, joined today by Rygo the Magic Dragon
Howdy.
and Magic the Magic Toucan.
Fuck? Wow. Hello, but yeah, wow. Where the fuck that come from, Grim?
Today we have a special guest in our Voice of the Player series. Is it pronounced Iznazti?
It is pronounced Iznazti.
Iznazti. He is big. He is bad. He is nasty. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So where are you from, Iznazti?
I am from Toronto, Canada.
Toronto.
Oh,
Canada.
another Canadian A. Are you friends with
Wait.
the
I thought the T was silent. Toronto.
It is silent, so I did that basic in front of me. It's Toronto.
Are you friends with the Unknown Brothers and Criminals or ML?
No ML. Don't know
Okay.
Unknown Criminal.
Canada's huge. That doesn't mean all Canadians know each other, Grim.
Yeah, we don't all know each other, but
Oh, okay.
us in the community have like talked to each other, and I think me, Sarkon, and ML were all supposed to go to Montreal sometime and just get drunk and talk about Forsaken Lands, but that hasn't.
All right. When did you start playing FL?
I want to say I started when I was 22. That's like 18 years ago.
18
Like
years.
15, yeah, it was around 18 or 15 years ago. I was playing a mud called Realm of Utopian Dreams. And it was sort of like a non-PK mud. But it had like no color. It was nice. I was an Ent Druid, and you had to like go up to 50. Then you had to remort, go up to 50 again. And then you got to like role play with all your friends. We had like an Awk channel. We would do little challenges, and I thought, oh man, that's super fun. I wish I could find a mud that there was like PKing in. So I started looking. Sure enough, found Forsaken Lands and never left.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people never leave. It sucks you in.
It
Sucks
does.
your soul dry.
It does.
Skin off your bones. Yeah. Yeah. I my first mode was AR, and actually my uncle and Foolhardy got me introduced to that. So like coming over to FL was like pretty much just seamless. Was it? How was your transition as far as change? Was it the same type of mud, or because I have no idea how that actually is going to a different type of mud altogether.
So the command structure was like almost identical. Dirt kick, bash, all that stuff.
Yeah.
What was completely different was the players and their skill level. It was like, I remember when I first started playing, I couldn't even get past level 30. Just get my ass handed to me. I would try a thief, a dark knight, this. I just couldn't even get past level 30. And I think my first character that I did get to level 50 was a thief, and that was a nightmare. Because at the time I didn't know about enlarge and any of this stuff, so I'd go like blackjack somebody, miss, get bash locked and die. Then I'd run back to my corpse, try to blackjack the guy again. If you've ever played it, you've all done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Die again. So, and that's what hooked me in, though.
Yeah, I hate getting in situations where you die and they're pretty weak from you fighting them, and then you unghost after a few hours of rest to try and finish them off, and then you die again. I've been there before, just out of rage. That's the only reason that I would do that is rage.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my first, I want to say, first 2 years of Forsaken was rage dying. But that was fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess whenever I didn't know anything, it wasn't necessary rage back then. I just didn't know anything, so I didn't know any better. And then whenever you start to learn, I think that's whenever the real rage comes out. Whenever you feel like you can actually do something, and then you just get stomped.
Yep.
But
After a while,
even to this day, I still get like pissed off. I don't rage and go out of character or anything, but I still get like pissed off, and I'll basically be stewing over it for like a day.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Whenever I die, I do. I don't die very often on my characters, but when I do, I like it. It takes me a little while to get over it. I'm not like throwing hissy fits, mind you, but
Oh, my bounce back on that's a hell of a lot quicker then. I might hit the table and swear a little bit, but after 5 minutes, if that, I'll sit there and I'm fine. I might go back and review the log, but that's about it.
Yep. It's a quick laugh, like, and a son of a bitch, and that's it, you know?
yeah,
Man,
not
you guys
me.
Aren't, you guys aren't taking it serious enough.
Well,
I
just...
want to smash the keyboard. I'm
Well,
like,
that speaks to a certain level of emotional maturity. You know, Rygothrin has not allowed himself to really come in touch with his emotions and let them mature as they would. So he still harbors the same kind of frantic feelings that, say, like an 8-year-old child would have, which explains why he lets it bleed over into his real life, because his ego is attached to his characters and he can't separate the two. But that's his journey, and one day he will be able to branch off from that and grow as a man.
You know, Graham. I think if I have the mentality of an 8-year-old when it comes to dying, we really have some really young folks around here.
Boy, that's very well stated. Just this morning, I upset a grown man who was upset because I didn't know who his fucking famous character was, and he stormed off and was upset, and I was like, you know, to me that's silly. I don't know. I'm not going to assume who you played. I'm not going to assume anybody knows anything. That's rude.
If you read the help files, but hey, let's continue. What is your favorite memory of FL?
I'd have to say it was my first time I completed the undead quest, and I was role playing with a Noom. I think it was an undead invoker. The quest was hard. I failed the first time, and then she let me do it again, and then I passed the second time. Like that was my first Q anything, and that was pretty awesome. And plus, the Noom was super good at RPing. Like, if any of you have gone for an undead anything, she's pretty cool at doing stuff like that. So that was my best FL memory. I also love when Raiden blew up. I thought that was super cool. That would be number 2 on the list. And just, you know, getting to meet all the different characters and stuff like that over the years has been pretty fun.
Is there a favorite character that you've interacted with?
Estelle, hands down. She was, I was just like, wow. I remember one time, I think I was playing a Savin Invoker, and I was asking her to, like, enchant my staves or whatnot. And at this time, she was upset because she thought that I was just, like, using her for her abilities, and she went off onto this little tantrum, and she's like, that's it, I'm not, like, doing your stuff for a long time. And I was just like, wow, like, didn't even feel like I could keep up with the RP, and thought, oh my god, like, I've never seen anything like that before. That would be
Wow.
that stands out.
Okay. So right now, as far as like in modern day FL and how it is today, what do you think your favorite aspects about current FL are, and how would you like to see FL evolve in the future?
My favorite aspects about FL now are the, like, in-game role play with other characters. And I've noticed lately, like, characters are really starting to invest some time in their own plots. And it's, you know, you have your typical groups in FL, and you can kind of tell as you're playing, like, who like to role play, who like to P-kill and whatnot. And I've noticed that the RP is, like, on the rise. And it's kind of fun because you get to immerse yourself in their role play, and I like doing that. Like, I have no problems being like the second wheel to somebody else's idea or whatever, and trying to help them along. I know when I was playing Ziviz, I could tell, like, Azin was doing a bunch of stuff, and he was trying to draw me into his RP, and I was like, okay, let's go with this. Like, yeah. So yeah, that would be the part that I'm loving right now. I kind of do wish people would stick to what they're doing, and I understand there's, we're all habit to it. There's the rage delete. There's the I'm just not feeling it anymore. But I would like to see like more of these plots come to fruition and actually end whereas they just become stale and they stop altogether.
Right. I can understand
Yeah.
that. It's hard. Well, sometimes it's easy to hit the wall with RP and become burned out, and then all of a sudden the character doesn't log in anymore, and then the plot falls stale. Like we've talked about this at great lengths. I mean, there's no way really around that other than just play more. And I think, like you said, getting involved with other people's RP, and when they extend you the branch to join in on it, more people doing that all together makes it that much more enjoyable to play. Instead of everybody trying to push their own story one way, it's like get involved in someone else's story. Be kind of open with your character. Character rigidity is something that I don't particularly like, and I like to have a malleable outlook on things. Like my character is more so a personality. It may have some goals and ideals, whatever, but if opportunity presents itself to jump in on somebody else's RP, I'll usually take that and just implement my character into it in the way that my character would actually be behaving if presented with that. Like I think any kind of good RP should be.
Yeah, plots can be difficult because they're real kind of easy to die if someone's not carrying that torch. And it's not always, easy for people to stay around.
Well, I completely get it. Like I said, I've been a part of a couple, and something might happen where somebody dies. They're just not happy about it. They're gone. A lot of people like to. I feel like we have such a fragile forums community, where if somebody says something on the forums that another player doesn't like, then it's jump on player A because he said blah blah blah, and next thing you know, people are like quitting, and there's the gossip, and that's something about Forsaken Lands I would love to just kind of see gone, where we're all mature enough to listen to somebody's idea and not just be like, I'm gonna scream at you.
Yep, 8-year-olds,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
8-year-olds.
Most communities have something like that. Forsaken Lands is no exception in this regard. No.
Yeah, well,
I get it 100%.
Yeah, you have a bunch of passionate people. I mean, whenever people
Yeah.
are passionate about something, they're definitely going to argue about it and have their own opinions. And so it's all right. It's just sometimes it goes overboard, So kind of knowing when you need to kind of take a chill pill, so to speak,
We've all been there. I'm pretty sure we've all said something on the forums that we wish we could take back. Kind of like that time I was like, fuck dirt kick.
Oh, that was you, huh?
Yeah, that was me.
Nerf dirt kid.
So, besides removing Dirt Kick, do you have any other suggestions that you'd like to make for the game?
I really want to see, I heard Volg and Zoids were working on something where, there would be kind of like some dungeon where you could get some loot out of. I'm a big fan of World of Warcraft, and I kind of like that style of getting armor where you get to go once a week, and you have to kill some badass boss, and you need some players to do it. I would love to see something like that.
Talking along the lines of instanced areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think the only thing that would probably be an issue there is what loot would be viable enough to where you want to go into the dungeon and get it, but also not so powerful that it affects balance. And that would be, in my opinion, just looking from it from a staff point of view, anyways, that would be what we would have to think about as far as everything that's available, loot wise.
I think it would be something that everybody can get. There's none of this this rare flag or whatever. Everybody could get it, but it's just the percentages of getting it are pretty tough, and Yeah, but you could have like different tier sets where it's like, okay, this piece is like a best in slot, and then you've got your couple other pieces that you just kind of get all the time for doing it, but it's good enough to use. But if you're like end game P killer, you're not really gonna want it. But
yeah, it's not a bad idea having like I guess a really rare drop that's powerful, but then having other drops that are useful but not game breaking necessarily.
Yeah, stuff that's on par that could be built into a set. Like in this instance, we know that these bosses drop AC gear, and these bosses over here drop like hit roll gear or something like that, and then have the super fucking rare drop that's like so rare that if you get it, it's like damn. I'm talking about like Death's Head rare.
Yeah, that would definitely be cool, I think. And it almost kind of goes hand in hand. I think maybe what we talked about last week was where we could have like once or twice a month an area opens up, and
Yeah, or even just
go
like a
into that
super
whole
boss mob that shows up and it's like y'all can kill him and he's around for a while. He may not actually have the thing, but he kind of moves around and travels, and you probably won't be able to kill him by yourself.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And if there was,
I think that something like that should go up. I don't think it should always be available. I think it draws more attention whenever it's not always available. Whenever you can't just go in and grind it, because eventually, you're gonna get what you want, and then it kind of I guess it kind of loses that luster, unless of course you want it on the next character. So I guess there is that too.
also, you could probably get away with, if you kill it, you get like 300 CPs or whatever, and this way it kind of encourages you to help other players kill it, even if you've already killed that creature. If we're talking about like a world boss or something like that, that'd be cool.
Yeah. It's not
on
bad.
those super rare drops, it would be cool if specifically on those mobs there's some kind of a dice rolling mechanic that was on there to see who actually gets the item after killing it. Like you had to roll for it at the end, so somebody just can't kill it and snatch it up.
Yeah, it would be cool to have some kind of system, some kind of lottery system.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be like pretty cool, and I'm sure there'd be a way to like do it. I'm not a huge computer guy, so I wouldn't know about the coding or anything like that.
It loads on the ground, and in the first person who tries to pick it up, or everybody who tries to pick it up, it goes into an automatic Rochambeau. So you got to try to play it that way.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Automatic Rochambeau.
Or just a dice rolling, a roll off.
Yeah.
I love playing dice in game.
I personally don't like the dice game. I just like to whenever you see them, start.
Are you talking about for challenges?
Yeah. I'm talking about
a
challenges.
Tangent to end all tangent.
Yeah, I think if it's gonna be like let's duel, there shouldn't even be dice. It should just be like, okay, like I'm gonna meet you in the ford, and it's on. I see you.
Yeah, see, that's the way that I prefer the duels to start, just because I feel like who's ever faster is gonna get first hit.
Yep. You need all the help you can get, huh?
Call for a dice roll. You roll your dice, and then you jump them while they're sitting there putting in that command.
Yeah,
I've had that happen to me before.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty vicious.
I have a question for Iznazti.
Fire away.
What is your favorite Cabal?
7, hands down.
Mysterium?
I actually prefer Temporum, but I like the RP for Mysterum.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So
I do too.
But it's too hard to say no to Temporum though, just because like I do like to P kill, and it's like, man, all those spells just synergize too well with a mage.
With everything, yeah. Mysterium doesn't really synergize to anything.
Yeah, it's more like what is this? I remember the first time I played a Mysterium, I was like, man, I'm so disappointed after I'd already played a Temporum. So yeah.
It sets you up for some good PvE. Mysterium does.
Yeah. Pretty, Usually if you're playing a Savin character, you can. Mages are pretty strong PD, I want to say, unless you're like, a cleric, and then it just takes you like a long time to kill anything. But generally, you're usually okay for. Unless you're an invoker, then it's like, I need everybody to help me get armor.
Speaking of Invoker, is that your favorite class to play, or what is your favorite class to play?
So funny enough, Invoker was my favorite class to play until I played a Necromancer, and now I'm like, me personally, I just synergize well with the Necromancer, and I had a blast. It was probably the funnest class I've played, in a long time, and it's definitely kept me addicted. Where I was like, oh yeah, logging in tomorrow. So that was a lot of fun. I was happy to do that. And so it's pretty close between Invoker and Necromancer. And I also like Battle Mage.
Yeah, I think I prefer like pet classes. I like Ranger and then Necromancer are definitely my two favorite.
Yeah, Ranger would be my my favorite melee. Just because I find them very versatile too. You can just, take a Ranger and go. You can, even if you're mediocre, you can eventually get a P kill or whatever. You can PV pretty much wherever you want once you have enough equipment. So Rangers are pretty, and a lot of the times with Forsaken Lands, you are by yourself, and there are things that you do want to do. I know I like to always update my equipment and go explore things, see what I'm missing, and maybe there might be a piece that might fit better that I just haven't thought about and I can't find on the wiki. So I like to do that a lot.
Yeah.
These kind of random little adventures, and those classes, pet classes, you can really do that by yourself.
Yeah, I kind of struggle with. I like mages. I like playing mages. Honestly, I don't like that I can't like go off by myself because I've never really played many MMOs, and so I just because of the time sink that you have to put into them. I've never had time to sit there and wait for a party to get together to do some kind of raid or something like that. And so the way I like to play FL is just a lot by myself. I like to travel by myself or like with one, maybe two other people. But then I'm also very paranoid, I guess you could say. And when I'm traveling with other players, I always feel that they're going to betray me at some point. And so like I would just prefer to travel by myself, to be honest with you. I can't always do that, though.
So play it good. Group with other goods, and you don't have to worry about being stabbed in the back.
I don't trust other goods either. I don't trust other goods either.
Okay, dude, now you're being ridiculous.
I mean, I don't think they're going to kill me, but, like, it's in my nature. If they want something and I want it, I'll just kind of defer and say, hey, take this. And then I'll kind of be pissed off about it. Petty about it, but it's not that big of a deal.
You're just a nice guy.
No, I think I'm just old, maybe, is what it is.
Okay, dude.
I used to not be like that. I used to be much more cutthroat as far as equipment was concerned and taking what I wanted and screwing others over. Yeah, I think I told someone today that I used to just tell people not even to come back to their corpse after I killed them because I would just full loot and sack everything. But I would never do that today. I don't even take gold. I don't even look in the corpse. I just walk away just because I feel bad about it.
Well, I have the same problem anytime I P kill somebody, unless I really, really need the item.
Yeah, I mean,
just taking your gold and that's it.
Yeah, if it's like an item that I know I can't get by myself and it's never in or something like that, like if it's I don't know, some light that gives, save or spell or something, then yeah, I might pull that out. And they're just gonna have to deal with it. But it's very rare that I do that. Even then, like I don't always do it if I need that equipment. I mean, there's plenty of people I killed with Aerithil that I never looted their corpse whatsoever, even the gold. So, don't know, just not my style anymore.
No, I'm down with that. Like I said, I like to. I really love the PK aspect of FL, and I find I kind of want the guy to come back, and fight if I beat. So I don't want to sit here and be like, oh man, that was a tough fight. Let me get rid of this ring of the this, ring of accuracy that this melee obviously needs because he was hurting me. I'm like, nah, man, you keep your ring in. Hopefully you come back and we get to do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's also a lot of emotional awareness when it comes to PKO in Forsaken Lands. Like, it's another person on the other side of the computer. And you really have to think about that. It's like, do I really want to just, is my RP that, I usually play evils. Is it that evil where, I want to just make this person really suffer on the other end of the computer for something that I don't actually want or need, and like I said, I think I'd rather the other player just be like, shit, I lost, that sucked. I already know they're mad enough, and why?
You don't want to pour salt onto that wound.
Yeah, why just dump the salt on the wound and be like, like I beat you, you suck.
Yeah,
I took all your shit. Like, no, that sucks.
That's one of the reasons I also don't loot. Is I'm the same way. I don't want to pour salt onto that wound. I already know how pissed off I get whenever I die, and so I know that they're definitely probably pissed off whenever I kill them. So unless they're just like a real jackass to my character, like constantly, I don't know. There comes a point. I mean, I've had certain characters that are just constant, just assholes to my character, and I don't even want to log on to talk to them at that point. And then whenever I kill them, then at that point I'm like, you know what, you can go fuck yourself, and I'll rub the salt in the wounds just because.
There's a couple players who have I just you can just tell they're just assholes, and you're like, oh, when I get you. You are one of the people. I'm full looting.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of people that, I mean, if I in the instance that I get you, it's all gone. And when you show back up, I'll probably be emoting teabagging your corpse.
I'd say that's a little bit overboard, but yeah.
I don't think it's overboard enough. I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but I mean, fuck some of these motherfuckers.
See,
sorry.
I'll just take the gear and then spread it around the lands and say I didn't take anything. I just hit it. Good luck finding it.
Yeah. So I guess evil is your favorite alignment then, if you said you play mostly evils.
Oh yeah, every time I play a good man, I'm like, I feel like I'm just ball washing. It's like, ugh.
Ball washing.
Yeah, when you got that boss, and then you got that coworker who's like, just all up in his nuts, just making sure his nuts are shiny and nice. Yeah, that's ball washing.
Brown nosing.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I just can't do it, man. I've tried. The only time I'll really roll a good character is, let's say if there's I want to say 7, 8 evil guys rolling around, and I'm like, you know what, it's time for a goodie, and let's get some good P-kill going on. But even then, the P-kill is so, I want to say, you're a good character. You're not really supposed to be out murdering people. And I try to stick to that RP, so I always feel like, nah, man, good's not for me. So neutral's pretty much the furthest I'll go, and whenever I roll a neutral, I'm just hoping somebody's gonna attack me. I'm like, please, somebody attack me.
Neutral's so hard to play.
It is hard to play. I find it, and I don't understand why we have the, a neutral person is, let's say, the god of, follows Rygoth, and they're greedy. Yeah, man, I want to kill somebody and steal their gold or something. Like, is that not RP enough for me to want to kill somebody as a neutral? No.
No. Oh no. Unless you're in Syndicate, then you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Are you really gonna get into this conversation?
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah, this conversation has been beat to death and then beat some more for sure.
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent. Okay, I think we've been consistent on the whole thing personally.
Sure. Whatever
I would
helps you sleep at night.
I would really love to see people like have a little more pride in their actual cabal. I remember when I first started playing FL, and like if you were a Nexus, you were a Nexus, and if there was a night on, and let's say you couldn't beat said Nexus, you tried and you didn't want to like let down your cabal aim, and you just kind of felt, ugh. I kind of wish there was more of that these days. I've noticed a few times when I've rolled a couple characters, and it's like, I'll take their stuff, and they're just like, nah, I don't care. You can keep it. And it's like, what? It's kind of weird.
Actually, tying into that, you had your last character was pure like I can't even do that at the moment. Kicked out of Savant and went to Syndicate. Good on you.
That was rough. That was rough. Let's just say Rygoth knows the paraforms were probably pretty exciting during that time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, pretty rough. I was upset. Like, I was really upset. I was like, "Well, what do I do here?" Like, but that's how Forsaken Lands goes. And I thought, okay, well, there's no way I'm going back to Savin. So what am I gonna do? And Syndicate, I went into, and honestly, I actually had a blast. I didn't even realize. I kind of forgot how fun it was to role play a Syndicate. And kudos to Killian, because that whoever plays that character, he's doing a great job. And we were trying to kill each other and do some stuff, so it was unfortunate that didn't happen. But we all have our rages.
Well, I'm sorry it went down like that. That personally, when I saw that happen, that pissed me off. Like, me personally pissed me off.
What pissed you off?
What happened to his character in Savant, and just the way it happened, why it happened, Loth in general, and I just, for whatever reason, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I get it that Loth is the head of Savant now, but it's like, fucking, I mean, I know why, but it's like, what? I don't know. It just seems ridiculous.
And yet, at the same time, it's stuff like that kind of forces you to grow. I know a lot of people will sit there and immediately delete or do something along those lines, and it probably did cross your mind too, didn't it?
Oh, it definitely did. I was like, oh, what do I do now? Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I was really upset. I didn't really know where to go with my character, and to be honest, at the time, I was like, why? Like, I didn't understand the purpose of it. To this day, and I've spoken to Loth in private messages or whatever. I still don't understand why that happened, but it happened, and I did think about deleting. But I put so much effort into Pure Leg, and like I said, it was my first Necromancer in 10 years. I was like, you know what, I'm not ready to give up on this yet. So I tried to go a different route, and it actually ended up turning out well. One of my favorite characters, it was Secondhand. We were plotting something at the beginning where we were going to like overthrow Loth, but then the guy just got so many bounties where it was like, gotta kill him. So that kind of, our little RP plot kind of took a backseat to, Syndicate duties, which was unfortunate. But
do you think your RP was enriched by being kicked out?
I don't think it was enriched. Like, I don't think I was like, oh, okay, I need to RP better. I actually had some pretty awesome, like, so I'd always planned, like, once I was done with the Syndicate, I was going to go back to the tower. Was always Pure Leg's kind of plan. I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it, but I knew, like, I'd have to throw in some RP with Loth and to get back in. I was kind of hoping somebody would, like, get the whole leader of Savant, but that never really happened, and try to RP some stuff that way. So that didn't happen. But I was planning on going back to the tower. So did it enrich my RP? It kind of gave me something else to do RP wise, which was nice. It was a nice surprise to just, okay, this has happened, too bad. Roll with the punches, and You know, it doesn't mean like, hey, this is the end. You can't ever be a 7 again. It just means like the road to get there is going to be different. So I imagine had I stuck with the character, I probably would have ended up going back to 7.
Okay, with that being said, do you think you grew as a player during this experience?
Oh, I'd have to say yeah, because I could have taken the easy road. And I think it was Alms who reached out to me. He's like, you know, you're kind of being tested, dude, like blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't ask for the test. Just sort of. So it was kind of like that. But at that point, Pure Leg was making a name for himself. And, you know, I wanted to show people like, okay, hitting delete is easy. But, you know, let's try to pull this through. And Pure Leg was a character that was, you know, very present in Forsaken Lands, and he was part of everybody's plots. I always tried to help everybody pull off their little schemes or plots, and he always listened. He had some interesting little tidbits of layers of RP himself, where he was trying to do his own thing, and I really tried to stick to that RP even when I became a syndicate. So
Yeah, I personally thought it was cool that you did stick with the character. I know that sometimes there are shitty situations that characters get put into, and a lot of people they do delete. But you know, the way I personally look at it is, it's just an opportunity to kind of further the character, whether you obviously want to or not. Because myself included, I have a tendency to roll characters and have a very specific path that I want this character to go on, and I have specific goals, and you know, sometimes those goals get shit on. And you know, I've actually, while I at the time I think it's bullshit, or I don't want to, you know, I don't want to do it, I end up finding that in the end I actually enjoy the character more, just because of the bullshit that I had to go through and the changes that I had to make. I actually learned that with Aerithil, that I can't be so rigid all the time as far as my characters, what I think my character should happen with my character anyways. But
Yeah, it's easy for you to role play your character not liking something while you, the player, is fine with it. But it's a challenge to role play something your character either likes or also doesn't like, but you as a player don't like as well.
yep, I'd have to agree with that.
yeah, it's but yeah, I think that kind of stuff definitely can take a character to the next level.
No, I agree.
And not necessarily that it has to, just that that door is open for you to take and to continue that on with that challenge, rather than, you know, just folding the cards. But I don't blame people who do that either, who, you know, delete their characters after being challenged in some way that they didn't think was going to, you know, happen. I don't blame them, but I think that if you do try and stick it out, it can be rewarding if you let it be, I think is what I was trying to say.
And I'll agree with that. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it to happen, but it happened. I rolled with it, and then it ended up probably being one of my one of my favorite characters all time, and I wasn't really expecting that. So
It is
worked out
definitely
pretty good.
something you will remember for a while.
Yeah, I still got the old, oh, I miss Pure Leg. So
Yeah, I think most players have that kind of where they have something where they miss certain characters. I know that like Trick has talked about missing his Scree character quite a lot, and I know that I miss some of my characters as well.
well,
You just got to move on, man.
yeah.
I know, but you spend a lot of time fleshing out characters and having fun playing them, and then, you know, they're gone, they're dead.
Well,
whatever.
then you shouldn't have fucking deleted it.
I
Doesn't
can't
necessarily have to
disagree. I'm just saying, at the time, it seemed like the best course.
Well, it might not be deleted too. It could be just condeath. Although that's
Yeah.
a rare thing these days.
That's
That's
rare.
these
I mean,
days.
maybe like Rynian, or I don't know how you say his name, the Storm Giant Crusader who turned vampire. Maybe he con died, so I can imagine that you know, he has a good excuse whenever he says he misses the character. Or Agmeal. I think Agmeal Khan died as well. Did he? I don't remember.
No,
No,
he
he
came
didn't.
close,
Okay.
I think, but
Yeah, he
didn't
must
come
have been
back.
close.
I usually
So.
con die with all my characters. It's rare that I do the delete. I'm pretty sure Soldane was my first demon I ever played. He was a battle mage 7. He con died. That was one of my favorite characters.
I remember him. I remember him because
Yeah.
he was one of the characters that actually killed me. Well, I would say I more suicided on him, kind of, but but yeah, I remember that specifically because I started the war between Savant and Nexus with my Necromancer.
Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah. But yeah, I think my character over, I don't know how long I played him, probably a year and a half, somewhere in between there. And I had 5 total deaths, and Soldane was one of them. And so that's why I remember. But
Yep, there's that P kill thing. I love P kill, so I just wish more people were as enthusiastic about me. I'm kind of a different breed because pretty competitive when it comes to sports and just my profession in general. I'm an iron worker by trade, and we're all kind of like, competitive. Like who can build this the fastest, who can do this. So it translates into PK a lot, where it's like, if I take an L, I'm like, oh man, that sucked. I get mad for a minute, look at the log. What did I do wrong? Bitch a little bit in the prayer forums, same old stuff. But yeah, I really I wish more people were like a little more competitive when it came to that. I notice these days with P kill especially, everybody's so timid, and I don't know if it's the player base has gotten that much better, and everybody's just cautious of each other, or I would like to see some people take a few more risks than they tend to.
that would be kind of nice.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'll oblige. I'll start doing that. I'll start throwing myself out there into the PK realm again. I think it's about time. Man, we appreciate having you on the podcast today. Thanks for giving us your time.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciated it.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Been enjoyable.
Yeah, that
Guys,
hour flew by.
Yeah, it did. Anybody else? Hey, anybody else want to be on? Hey, just let us know. We'll get you on here. Chat. If you got something to say, come say it. Yeah, at some point. But anyway, hey, we hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you again next time. Take it easy.
All right. Later.
Take care.
Good day.